Alright, welcome back to this full regex in Excel course. This cheat sheet is in the description, as is the link to the full playlist. Subscribe if you want more lessons. So this is an exciting episode. We are into capture groups. So these are extremely useful and unlock a whole other dimension of power. So if you remember in the very first intro video, we briefly touched on capture groups. In this one, we'll expand a little bit more. So we have a sentence here that includes a UK license plate. So our license plate is here. And for those that don't know, UK license plates are of this standard format, and it's really broken up into three sections, which means something. So LD is where the license plate was registered. So LD is London. The next part is the year it was registered. So it was registered in 2024. And then we have three random letters on the end. So that's our license plate pattern. 2 letters, 2 numbers, 3 letters. And I've purposely put into here 2 capital letters, 2 numbers, and 3 letters here, just like a license plate. And that's just to highlight that when we write a pattern, it will pull it out in its entirety rather than the individual components. So let's write our pattern for a license plate in the way that we did in our intro video. So we had 2 non-digits, so that's a capital D. Then we had 2 digits, so backslash lowercase d, and let's put 2, and we should know how to do this from the other videos. Then we have a white space, so backslash s. Then we have 3 non-digits again. And let's pull out all matches of this pattern. And I'm going to highlight a flaw with this approach here. So we want to REGEXTRACT from this text, this pattern, and give us all matches. So you'll notice we're actually capturing here this T space, that's 2 non-digits, space is a non-digit, then 2 digits, and then 3 non-digits, a space and H and O. So that's this one here. So the point of me doing this wrong is to remind you to be specific when writing your patterns. It's great that we know these general characters and these negation of characters, but try to be specific when you're writing things. So let's change this backslash non-digit to be a specific capital A to Z range. So that's in square brackets, like so. So let's change this one as well. So now we have a much more specific pattern that we're trying to match. Okay, now the magic starts, capture groups. So capture groups is essentially just putting brackets around parts of your pattern in regex. And that does a number of things. The first thing it allows you to do is to put quantifiers on the outside of those brackets. So before we could do a quantifier for specific character classes or specific letters. Now we can do quantifiers on whole parts of patterns. And we can do subsections of our pattern. So in this one, we know that the first 2 letters represent kind of the place of registration. So let's wrap those in brackets. So that's one part of our pattern. The next is the digits, the year of registration. So let's wrap that in brackets as well. And then the space in the middle, we don't really care about. And then let's put brackets around the last part of our pattern. So we have 3 capture groups here. One of the points of me adding these 2 letters and 2 numbers elsewhere in the pattern is to show you that capture groups don't separate out the bits of the regex. You still need to match the full pattern, and then you'll section it off inside that pattern. Okay, so great, who cares? What can we do with this? Well, the first thing we can do is to change this regex return mode to be 2, which is capture groups of first match. And what that will do is it will specifically split out the subsections of our pattern for us. So now we've both found the license plate and split it down into its area of registration, London, its year, 2024, and the 3 random digits on the end. Now, what's even more interesting is that these capture groups are saved in regex's memory, and that means we can recall them. So if I just look at this first capture group, it's matching any 2 uppercase letters as long as they fit into the full pattern, i.e. this license plate. And now that part of the pattern, this LD, is preserved in memory in capture group 1. And capture group 1 is always your first set of brackets, capture group 2 will be your second set of brackets, and so on. But the thing that's held in memory is not that pattern, it is the specific thing that was found with that pattern. So now LD is held in memory. And we can recall that back into our pattern by saying \1. So that's saying capture group 1. And that is not going to match anything until we put what was held in memory at the end. So LD is held in memory. So now our pattern is matching that. We could even change our bracket here because we're pulling out capture groups of first match, and we'll get that LD on the end. So let's go back a second. Hopefully that makes sense. That may be a little confusing at first, but we've put capture groups around our pattern. We can recall parts of the pattern, but it's the exact thing that was found that we're recalling, not the pattern. And when we recall that specific pattern with a \1, \2, that's known as back referencing. Now let's show some more magic we can do with these capture groups. So with this license plate, the first 2 things are relevant, the location and the year. The third part is not really relevant, but we do need it in our pattern to match a specific license plate. So if we only wanted to pull out the first 2 parts, we can make this the final group what's called a non-capture group. So after your first bracket, if you put a question mark and a colon, it makes the third part a non-capture group and it's not held in memory. So when we pull out this mode of return matches from the capture groups, it's not storing that third one, and therefore we only get out the parts that are relevant. So that's a non-capture group. It also makes regex faster in terms of computational speed because it doesn't need to remember various parts of patterns. So let's go back again. That's a non-capture group. As an aside here, when you open a bracket, anytime you open a bracket and then put a question mark, that tells regex we're doing something special here, whether it be a non-capture group, lookarounds, which will come to another lesson, or anything else. So that's something we'll cover later down the line, but just to be aware of it now. Now let's go back to just the regular match mode, and I'm going to do something else that's very cool. We're going to change this to REGEXREPLACE. And now when we replace our pattern, we can actually reference our capture groups in the replacement. And to do that, we use dollar signs. So we could say $1, that's capture group 1, and then we could say $2 $3. So we are replacing our pattern that we found, and then we're recalling the capture groups but with a dash between them. So you'll see we get this license plate split out here. And we can change in our formula the order of these. So we could say that we want capture group 3, and then capture group 2, and then capture group 3 again, or we could do capture group 3 3 times, and you'll see, look, we get this capture group 3 labeled out. This is good for stuff like redactions. We could say we want capture group 1, then capture group 2, let's remove the dash, and then we want star, star, star. So there we've redacted the random letters and we just have the registration city and year. So these capture groups are extremely powerful. Now, there is also a capture group 0, and 0 means just match the whole pattern. So if I said $0 in here, that's just saying, give us back the whole pattern. The usefulness of that is we could say, you know, we could put anything around the whole capture group. So I'm just putting a load of square brackets around it at the minute, and you get this mess of square brackets around it. It allows you to pull the whole pattern back with $0. And the fun never ends. Let's expand on this further. What if you're in a situation where you have a number of capture groups and it's very hard to remember \1, \2 up to \100, you know, you have loads of groups. Well, that's where naming comes into it. So if you remember earlier, I told you that a question mark tells regex after a bracket, this is going to be something special. And if we type bracket question mark and then open triangular brackets, this allows us to name something. So let's name this location, close the triangular bracket. That's given a name to our capture group. Let's call the second one something as well. So let's say question mark and then open our triangular brackets, and let's call this year. And on our last one, question mark, triangular brackets, random underscore digits. So our pattern will work exactly the same, but we have added documentation and named groups to our pattern. So now let's come back here and let's do where we had $1 before, $1 dash $2 dash $3. I typed $1 twice there. So we get our things out as we liked, but instead of using these numbers, we can now use names instead. So we can say $, open our triangle brackets, location, that's the name of our first capture group, and we can mix them like that. So now we can reference with names instead, which is more intuitive. So this is when we use REGEXREPLACE, we use this $ argument. If we just go back to REGEXTRACT for a second, when we want to add the specific capture group to the pattern again, so we're not calling it in the REGEXREPLACE, we're looking for the specific thing that was found in the first capture group at the end of a pattern. So let's put an LD on the end of here now. And perhaps this isn't a good example, but I just want to show you how to do it. So we're still pulling out that. If we want to pull out this LD, then we can say we also want \k. So \k is what you use when you're inside the pattern itself, and then open the triangular brackets and let's say location. Location, close our triangle brackets, and now we are pulling out that. If I change this from LD to any other two letters, you know, UK, it won't work because it's not exactly matching what was in capture group 1. There is no match. Now let's just do a couple of other quick examples with capture groups. Here we have US dollars and GBP 500. If you want to extract both of those, we can put all statements inside capture groups. So we can say US dollars or with a pipe GBP. And then we can have white space, \s, and then \d plus any number of digits, d plus, then REGEXTRACT from this pattern, this all matches, we get our values out. So you can group a number of things with the OR operator inside capture groups. That's quite useful. Now let's show a couple of other cool examples. So let's say we had all these words and they have double letters and we want to find those double letters. Our pattern can be \w, so any character or number, but let's wrap it in a capture group. Then let's reference that with a \1. So now if I extract from here this pattern, it will find the double letters. And you can use these kind of patterns to pull out like palindromes within words and so on and so on. And it will also pull out multiple, so I'm just putting some extras on there. When you pull out all matches, when we're using these capture groups, it will find the first thing, so it's an L, and then \1, it will look for another L right next to it, but it will also work to find things later on in the pattern. So it will pull out both groups of double letters. Another quick example, we could also clean up things like this where we have a double word, so we have please review the document. So let's say we want a word boundary, and then a capture group of some word characters, so \W plus, then some white space, then our first capture group, and then another word boundary. So we're looking for, the word boundaries are saying we want specific words, and that stops the issue of getting words within words, if that makes sense. So we're looking for a specific word, a space, and then that exact word again. Now let's say REGEXTRACT from here, this pattern, we find we get our double the. Now let's correct this. Let's say REGEXREPLACE from this text. Here's our pattern. What do we want to replace it with? Well, it's $1, capture group 1. And there you go, we've fixed the text. So capture group 1 is the word the. We're looking for a pattern that has that capture group and itself again with this \1. And then we're replacing it, we're replacing the full pattern with just the capture group. So hopefully that makes sense. There's a lot here to unpack in capture groups. Next time we are going to cover the nuances of brackets because now we've been through them all. So we've been through all of these types of brackets. And something that's confusing for people that first pick up regex is that special characters change depending on what side brackets you're in. So we're going to cover all those nuances next time, so hopefully I'll see you there.